welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building, brought to you today by Who Knows Wins, the brilliant app. And I'll tell you what, Lee, they got a special on this week, right?
Do you want to talk about last week first?
Wait.
All right, okay.
They got a special on this week.
I'll wait.
They got a pot of £7,500 and there's an Arsenal special. As you know, we ain't got a game on the weekend, but they got an Arsenal special for the Wolves game. All right, so the link is in the description. Get involved in it right now. What happened last week?
Well,
did you win?
Oh no, I come 50th. But like,
how much money did you win?
I won £2 something. Right? No.
Yeah.
But I've had to just gone.
Big spender.
I've just bought a periscope because I've had to have a look how far down you was. 50,000. 50,000. You come like 50,000 somewhere.
Listen,
like.
mate. Listen. You know what? It's because I was trying to be.
Actually, put under your. It said Robbie Lyle. Placing embarrassment. That's what it put like. You know what I mean? Come on. You know what I mean? 2-2 now, by the way.
All right. This week, Lee, they're doing a Wolves special as well as the Pick 10. So on Saturday for the weekend's games, you can win yourself £7,500. And on Thursday, you can play the game where it's a Wolves special. So we're playing both of them this week. Just running through my Wolves special there, you can see I've got Arsenal to win, of course.
I've got Arsenal to win, yep. I've got that as well.
What did you go for? Over 2.5 goals?
No.
Neither did I. I think it'll be another low-scoring game.
Yeah, that's what Wolves.
I've got. Who did you have as your last goal scorer?
This time, I've gone for Martinelli again.
I've gone Lacazette.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I've gone Lacazette to finally get on the score sheet, right? So Lacazette. And what about your pick 10? In my pick 10, which is going to be at the weekend, of course. Just scanning through that. Who did you go? Brentford v Newcastle, which is a massive sort of 6-pointer. Who did you go for in that?
I've gone for Brentford at home.
Brentford?
Yeah.
No, I've gone Newcastle. Newcastle win. All right, where did you go? Brighton, Aston Villa?
Draw.
That's the.
What have you gone?
I've gone a Brighton win.
Have you?
That's the easy one. All right, who did you go for? Palace versus Burnley, because there's a lot of really difficult ones.
Yeah, like of course, they had a great win, didn't they, Burnley? Last up. I've gone for Palace.
I've gone for Palace as well. And then we get to one final one. Who did you? Everton versus Man City.
I hope Everton stuff them. That's all I'm saying.
You see Everton's record. They've lost, I think it's 4 out of their last 5 games. That's incredible, isn't it?
They've been really
they've been so bad.
On a bad run, haven't they?
Yeah, but get involved right now. Who Knows Wins. The link is in the description. We love playing it. We're 2-2 now.
2-2. Brilliant game.
None of us have won the big pot yet. We're both aiming for that. But I've got a feeling maybe the Wolves game might be able to get something done in that game.
I got 6 out of 7 the last time we done this.
Yeah, the Wolves game. Don't forget though, if we win that Wolves game, you're not allowed to celebrate.
Well, no.
According to the Wolves players, who threw a fit last time when we celebrated our win against Wolves a couple of weeks ago. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. But first of all, let's start with the game at the weekend. Good win.
Brilliant win. I thought it. Do you know what? I don't know about you, but I watched the first half in the stadium because you wasn't there, but and I was worried, disappointed. I thought, we didn't play that well. Same old Arsenal, not good enough.
First half.
Yeah.
Played well.
Yeah, but I did, because you're
the anxiety.
Yeah, I think we played really well second half, stepped it up. It's not until you get back and watch it do you actually think, well, do you know what, we weren't that bad. But because you're just, maybe it is. I think it's all because you're tense, you're worried about it,
and there's so
you're
much
caught up in the emotion of the game.
So much on a game like that as well.
Yeah, we needed to win that game because I suspected that Man United would win and other teams around us, Wolves would win. I didn't suspect that a certain team would win. But do you imagine if we'd have lost that game? Yeah. And then they'd have won that. How bad. Because we won, so what? You know what I mean? But it is really about what we do.
Yeah.
And
what did I say in that podcast last week? I said it's squeaky bum time.
Yeah, and it is.
Remember I said that even this early in the season is squeaky bum time, and that proved last week because, like you said, Tottenham won, Man United won. All right, West Ham, they dropped points, but they didn't lose, right? But they just dropping 2 points. Yeah. They that was a bad news for them, So got to keep winning. Wolves won.
Well, this in theory is one of our games in hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
So over Man United. So like we've got to nail it. Got to nail it Thursday. It's going to be a same sort of game, I think, as it was on Saturday. I think it'd be nervous, tense sort of game. It's just when you get that win like we did on Saturday, the emotion is more relief than anything else. Do you know what I mean? So, especially when that second goal went in, because then I thought like that was the game over. But it wasn't an enjoyable game to watch. You know, I know that sounds silly, but when you actually analyse it, it was quite a good game for us to play. And we was comfortable. Looking back at it, I've done the players' ratings afterwards, and really everybody was sort of like 7. No one really lowered at 6. A couple maybe on a 6, but I don't think anybody played that bad. Yeah. But then, so if no one's actually played that bad, we must have played quite well.
You played well.
You know what I mean? Like, so
no, it's true. There's a lot of games that don't you. A lot of times, right? You go to games, and like you said, you're full of anxiety, and you're moaning about certain things. You come away with a win, but when you come away with the win, sometimes in those games, when you get home and you sit back, even before sometimes watching the TV match of the day or whatever, and you kind of analyse it, you think to yourself, do you know what? We were comfortable in that game.
Yeah.
They didn't I don't really remember Ramsdale having to make any saves. There was no last ditch clearances or nothing about it. But you wouldn't think that when you're in the ground, because you're just full of anxiety because there's so much on the game.
Someone said that we had around about 80% in that first half. I don't know if that's true. There were so many crosses and we had loads of shots and all that. And I did honestly come in at half time, saying to a couple of my mates going, same old rubbish, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't doing this, we ain't creating.
That's why we're not coaches.
And he just, because
get him off, take him off.
Yeah, like, and it was really like an emotional thing. But when you actually look about it, it wasn't. And the Lacazette goal was very, very close to being onside. Xhaka was offside, but very minimal. And you quite rightly what you said. The defensively, we never looked in danger, so it weren't like they were running on one-on-ones like in the past and everything like that. So I think we managed the game really well. And so
Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe again.
I'll tell you what, 2 good goals, weren't they?
Yeah.
Two good goals.
From 2 outstanding young players who now I think both of them need to be in that England setup. I mean, we already know that Saka is. We know that Smith-Rowe has been knocking on the door. He's had 1 start, but I think the season he's having, he has got a really, if he keeps that going, how can they ignore him for England? And he's got a massive chance of going to the World Cup. I mean, the amount of goals he's scoring from midfield, I mean, he's our top goal scorer.
Yeah, and there was a time, and I think I'm not the only Arsenal fan, I'm going to be honest, that was saying, we've got to buy Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, because he was doing what Smith-Rowe's doing now with Villa. He hasn't scored nowhere near the amount of goals that I think he should have done. But Smith-Rowe is that go-to guy in it as far as goals are concerned. Great overlapping run by Tierney, by the way.
It was. Do you know what, Lee, right? I actually, that goal, because my son plays a left back, left wing back, I actually said to him, son, come here, I want you to watch this. Yeah. Right? And I said, he thought I'm showing him the goal. I said, I'm not even interested in you watching the goal. I want you to look at Kieran Tierney's overlapping run, right? Look at that. And he looked at it. Obviously, he's still young. He's only 12. He looked at it and he goes, oh, yeah, that's a great run. I said, that's what you need to do when you're playing. Because I go, that run is what takes away. That makes that goal. If he doesn't make that run, the 2 defenders would have got him, Smith-Rowe. But that attracted the attention of the defender. Yeah, and that's when that allowed him to cut inside. That split second. Brilliant run by Kieran Tierney. People don't, those are some of the things sometimes you don't notice unless you're at a game. Yeah. It was brilliant. And I'll tell you what, also, it was like a driving run of 50 yards. Yeah. With conviction. To get up there, with conviction. Yeah. That's the word. It's not like that he was just ambling up there. He was determined, probably knowing that he weren't going to get the ball. Yeah. But he had to make that run. And as you say, at that precise moment he went past
Smith Rowe. That's when he cuts in.
Yeah,
and it
split second.
You just see the fella just slightly going towards Tierney, and if he doesn't go towards Tierney, then he plays him in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it was well thought of, well drilled goal, and then the finish to match it, and then Saka's goal. Wow, got to say the finish
awesome
of that.
Goal. That was a brilliant finish.
Do you know what? I'm not being critical of Saka because you know what I think of him. That wasn't one of his better games, and then he produces that.
He's quality, man. Absolute quality. He's one of the best young players in Europe.
Yeah, I think he's getting. He always does a magic moment in a game, doesn't he?
Yep. Absolutely brilliant. The only I don't know. It's not a downside. It's not being hypercritical, but it's still another game when the strikers haven't scored, though. Does it matter? I mean, Lacazette very unlucky not to get a goal.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in his head maybe. Eddie Nketiah still hasn't scored, especially at the weekend when you then looked over at Barcelona and seen Aubameyang scoring a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Right? It's still that our guys, the strikers, haven't scored, but then it didn't matter. We won the game. The most important thing is a victory, but anything to worry about that the strikers are...
No, not at this moment in time. I think, obviously Lacazette was involved with the first goal. He was the one that puts the pass out there. I think he's involved in the second as well. I'm not sure. He's a little bit of a mixed bag. If he'd have took his 2 chances in the games against Wolves and Burnley, and then that one wasn't offside today, he'd have had 3 and 3 and everybody going, whoa, it's great. Do you know what I mean? It's thin lines,
margins,
isn't it? It's margins, isn't it? And for me, I wasn't convinced with Lacazette, but I actually said after the game, I didn't think he had a great game. But when you actually go back and look at it, he is pivotal to the 2 goals or involved in our better things that we do. So it's a difficult one, are you going to... Does it matter with Liverpool that Firmino's not scoring goals?
Yeah, true.
But, because you've got the others scoring
Great
10,
point.
15, 20 goals. So it don't really matter. No one was really questioning when we've got 20 goals in December, but they're questioning it now. But listen, if we score 2 goals a game...
Even you look at a team like Man City, their top goal scorer is Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you do make a great point there. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. The main thing is we won the game.
It's always going to come up if we ain't scoring.
Yeah.
If we score 2 goals, if we was to score 2 goals every game now to the end of the season, with the defences being as good as what it's been, we should be in a good position. So, you don't have to get 5, 6, 7 goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So two
be nice.
Be nice. But I'm not.
The main thing is that we win the game. Like you said.
It's just about winning the game.
And he is contributing. I mean, whether or not he's scoring goals, Alexander Lacazette is contributing. Remember, he's a captain on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
He's leading. He's leading by example in that he's putting the work in and everything. And listen, I'm not going to fault him for the fact that he didn't score, but it'd be I really want to see him get on the score sheet soon, just because I can see that as a thing that people are going to, probably us included, we'd be like, look, he still ain't scored, you know what I mean? So,
and it's only natural that you think that.
Because you're a striker. So, but the other controversial moment in that game was actually when Lacazette came off, and the armband now for the captaincy gets past to Xhaka. And Xhaka refused the armband.
Yeah, it's like pass the parcel, wasn't it?
Right. Now, it's kind of been cleared up since, where what they were saying is that the armband was actually supposed to go to Tierney, and Xhaka wanted to give it to Nketiah, give it back to Nketiah to give it to him on the neck, but didn't look good, does it? No,
it didn't look good. I have to say, when people that are, I think, that want to criticise or look to criticise Xhaka, it's another little stick, isn't it? To give him, to beat him with. I didn't think nothing in it really, if I'll be honest. I see it and I thought he could have just held on to it for that couple of seconds.
Yeah, well, that's right. Why didn't he just hold on to it?
Maybe he's just concentrating on the game. That's what I think they're saying.
Do you think he's conscious of the fact that
maybe
before that with the old armband thing, and
he has been sort of stripped of it. So why would you have it back?
Yeah, but he's part of the leadership group.
Yeah, I can see why people are saying this. I'd rather concentrate on that we won the game, he done well, and not go down that route.
I wonder if you'd have said that if you'd have lost the game. It'd be a big issue. I know you as well. It would have been a mega issue.
That was when it all went wrong.
But who should get the captaincy?
Oh,
Lacazette goes at the end of the season because he still hasn't signed a new contract, so he'll be leaving. Who is your new captain?
I think, Tierney's got to be up there. Odegaard's got to be up there. Saka's got to be up there. It's a difficult... Yeah, well, just because of who he is and what he is.
So you're doing it again.
So
that's what we've done with
Yeah, I get that.
Who gets the captaincy?
I would like to see someone at the back get it. So either like Tierney or Ben White.
Listening to Mikel Arteta, looks like he's leaning towards Odegaard.
I wouldn't be against that, but
captain of Norway at a very young age.
Yeah.
If you listen to what Mikel Arteta has been saying about him, he's like that. This kid is mature. He leads by example. He's a leader, a natural leader. He's a natural leader for his country. He's been, even though he's 22, he's been under pressurised situations from about the age of 15, 16. Remember, he went to Real Madrid at the age of 16. And when you watch him playing games, he leads the press. He's always urging players on.
I've seen it.
He plays in that sort of position that suits captaincy. That sort of central midfield. You can see everything that's going on. Arteta always seems to play him as well. So he's looking like he's going to be a regular player. And he certainly does look like he's more vocal than Tierney. Kieran Tierney, who a lot of us always look at and say natural leader, he doesn't talk a lot, does he?
No, I'll tell you what, everybody goes on about Kieran Tierney because he don't wear a jumper as well. He's a man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really... I think that's a great point you make there. I do actually see him quite vocal on the pitch. That when they'd done those cam things a little while ago, he was Tierney was drilling people out and things like that. I think that he could become a good leader. I think you're right with Odegaard as well. Gabriel and Ben White could be in for that thing as well. It's
Gabriel doesn't even speak English though.
Yeah, but football's don't matter, does it? I like the way he plays and the way.
Well, why was everyone moaning about Emery not speaking English?
Because he's not on the pitch.
Listen, I don't know, man. I think...
Does Tierney speak English? Scottish,
hey, all the Scotch people out there, listen, did you hear that?
I've got a couple of mates that play.
No, listen, my mates are speaking
Scottish. They're Scottish, and half the time you're going, what can you do?
I'm sure they're going the same with you.
Strong Glaswegian accents. Yeah, they probably do. They go like, "What are you saying, judges?" So I don't know. I wouldn't be against Tierney, and I wouldn't be against Martin Odegaard. Neither.
I want to, I want to get a poll up, right? I want to get it up on the, on the AFTV app. We're going to get a poll up. Who should be the captain of Arsenal? Because it was after that whole armband thing on Saturday.
They've got to get this one right, haven't they?
Yeah, it's interesting because who gets it, and like Lee says, let's get it right, because it's almost been like that armband's been cursed. Everybody's got it recently. Their football's just gone off the cliff, and maybe a lot of times that's because we haven't given it to the right people. Aubameyang, I always said, he's not a captain. You know what I mean? Guy just wants to, you guy like that, you just let him go and play football.
Just wants to score goals.
You know what I mean? And then all the captains that we've had in recent times, it's Koscielny and, you know what I mean? It's not since the days. We
haven't really had a great captain.
Since Tony Adams, we haven't had a proper captain.
We had Tony Adams, Vieira.
And Vieira, yeah. Sol Campbell, sort of for a little bit.
I think Gilberto done it for a little while. It was okay. Yeah. And Fabregas, I liked Fabregas.
Fabregas was a decent captain.
He led by example.
Yeah.
But other than that, Van Persie then I think had a little spell at it, didn't he? He led by example for a year before he
led himself out of the club.
Yeah, so and tarnished it. William Gallas, remember it? What a poor decision that was.
Shocking captain.
But you know, always at Arsenal had good captains when growing up, like, you know, from Frank McClintock,
Paul Davis.
Paul Davis had a spell at it there. Kenny Sansom was a good captain, and then of course Tony Adams. So had some decent captains. I think like once Tony Adams left, Vieira was a natural, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But now no one is in
toss it up in the air, isn't it? Like what they're doing, and that's what they're literally doing.
But no one's in the mould of Adams and Vieira, are they?
No. By the way, you mentioned Kenny Sansom. Then I just got to say, I saw a picture of him the other day. Leading his daughter down the aisle at his wedding. It was such a nice picture to see. We know he's had
his problems,
issues and problems. And that was such a nice picture to see.
Looked really well.
Yeah, he did. Well done to Kenny Sansom.
I think he's been to a few games, hasn't he? Like a few Arsenal games as well. So.
And when we talk about fullbacks, what a player he was. You know.
Well, I've been privileged in that role, in that position.
Yeah.
We've had like. Yeah. Someone said the other day, which is a great thing, I don't know who it was now, said, what would it be like now if we sold Kenny Sansom, England international left back, and we bought some unknown sort of player from Wimbledon?
Right.
And the people would have gone mad, wouldn't they? Like, you know what I mean? And Nigel Winterburn turned into be or what's a player he was.
Brilliant
for us,
you know, we've been. You're right. You know, we've been blessed with some good fullbacks over the years. Yeah. But well done to Kenny Sansom. But anyway, listen.
That's another poll we could have. Who's the best? Kenny Sansom, Nigel Winterburn, Ashley Cole. All three of them. Yeah. Superb left back. I'll tell you what. So have those three left backs.
Even though he's not on that level, but Clichy was decent. Clichy when he came
Sammy Nelson. Do you remember Sammy Nelson?
Sammy Nelson. Yeah.
So like, we've been
some decent fullbacks, man.
Kieran Tierney now. Where's he coming? That
Tierney.
He's in that. He's a long way up.
He will get there.
He's not in the top three I've just said, but he's in that.
He'll get there if he keeps going how he's going.
Yeah. So we've had probably better left backs. Come to think of it, we've had better left backs than right backs.
We've had some decent right backs as well.
We've had decent, but like
Sanya,
Dixon, Lauren,
Dixon, like you said,
Viv Anderson.
Yeah.
Pat Rice. So no,
and now Tommy Asu.
Yeah, and Tommy Asu. We've had good fullbacks all through.
We're sorry for fullback. We've got a tradition of fullbacks.
We've got a tradition, like, so it's a...
can't say the same for centre-backs, though.
Nah, centre-backs not as...
You know what? The funny thing is, right? Centre-backs, we always used to have decent centre-backs until sort of later on in Wenger's... He started in guys like Seagan and... What was that other guy? Who's what was
Schillaci?
Schillaci.
5'4" he was, wasn't he? Centre half, you know what I mean? So Senderos wasn't one of my favourites, if I'll be honest.
Senderos, yeah, he used to have moments, didn't he? Senderos was like, I don't know. I think it was Senderos. He came in with a
big
quite a big rep, didn't he? And didn't live up to it.
What was the other one?
Well, it's Koscielny.
He was Swiss.
Vermaelen?
No, Swiss international.
Swiss. Hold on a minute.
Played like left-sided player. Giroud. He was Swedish.
Oh, De Giroud. Yes. He's another one. He
never fulfilled it.
Yeah.
And all the attributes.
He had all the attributes. I think to be fair to him, that injury.
Yeah, maybe. He was good. But I look back at when
he tried a lot of centre halves here.
I know, like Matthew Upson was a good central defender. But he was a cover for the likes of Adams.
Upson sort of reminded me a bit like Rob Holding.
Yeah, that's sort
like
of
Rob Holding would be now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But he was.
He's decent.
He was
Matthew
very, very decent. He would have had a good Arsenal career if
he's around now.
If he was around there or 5-10 years before, 100%. He'd have been like well thought of.
Centre halves now though, Gabriel, I really like.
Yeah, I love Gabriel.
I really like, and Ben White is getting better and better every week.
Good partnership.
It's looking like a very good partnership.
I'll tell you what I like about Ben White as well, when he drives into the midfield.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I'm going to be really interested to see when Saliba comes back. You know, so maybe we're sorting that position out as well, and at last, you know, because we've gone a long time with having...
Looking a little bit better at it. I'll tell you what, defensively, we're looking a lot better. I was absolutely disappointed that we conceded a goal on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm thinking, another clean sheet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I'm thinking, like, you know, clean sheets were so hard for Arsenal to get at one stage, and now we're getting them quite regular. So,
well, this Thursday, that is a tough game, right?
Yeah.
Because we're playing up against Wolves. They got a win, you know, at the weekend against Leicester. Very lucky, I thought, by the way, but they got a win. Well, actually, no, that's the wrong word. They weren't lucky, but I thought Leicester was by far the better team. But they got the win. They were clinical. Their confidence is up. Their last 2 games, they've beaten Tottenham away. They've beaten Leicester. They, of course, previous to that, lost to us. If they beat us in that game, they go above us again, right? They're hovering around. They've got a shout for that top 4. I think they're getting players back now. They've got that Hwang came back into the game. I think Neto was on the bench. He could feature. He's a top quality player. That Podence scored a great goal. Neves scored a great goal. It's going to be a very tough game, Lee. Also, I think there's a little bit of needle in this because they were all wound up, all the Wolves players, at the way Arsenal celebrated after beating them at Molineux a few weeks ago. I don't know why, because to me, it was obvious why Arsenal celebrated so much. They were down to 10 men. They're up against a very, very good side, and they managed to hold out. Because remember, I think a lot of people forget it was 10 men for a long time. Yeah. Right? And we managed to hold out and get a very, very important win. But they're going to be coming for revenge. That's a big game.
Massive game, and I don't think it was any disrespect towards them. I think we was harshly dealt with the sending off, and I just think it was sort of incidents, nothing to do with them, that made Arsenal celebrate. Like, I remember we was 1-0 up, thinking we was in total control of that, but I celebrated that win because it more out of respect for Wolves, because I think Wolves are a very, very good side, and to go there and get a win with 10 men made it even better.
What's their problem then?
I don't really know what their problem is. Like, listen, we've had it before. When I remember, do you remember when Arsene Wenger and Pardew went at it when West Ham scored the last win against us, and we didn't like it. You know what I mean? They was all going mad. It was hard to take. So I get that. At the end of the day, you know, we've got to do it again to them. And I think if we won with 11 men in that game, we wouldn't have probably celebrated as much as we did. Is because of the circumstances. But listen, if we do win on Thursday, I'll be enjoying it.
There's a bit of needle in it now, though, isn't it? Because obviously, as I said, that upset them. They were very vocal about it after the game. They didn't like that, and they're going to use that. They're going to use that to motivate themselves. There's a lot on this game. Like you said, it's our game in hand. It's their game in hand as well, right? We really, you know, the pressure's on now. The pressure's on. We need to win that game.
Yeah, well, you know, one we need to win it to stop them progressing, because I think they've got West Ham on the weekend as well, so they've got 2 massive games. So listen, we need to punch their balloon. You know what I mean? Like pop their balloon. You know, that's how we've got to do it. And then we've then see the problem for us is, or is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Is that if we get a result, that's great. But if we don't get a result, we haven't got a game on the weekend, so we're going to drop. Yeah,
because we're supposed to play Liverpool.
So which is not give me any.
It might be no result anyway.
So yeah, so we've got. So it's important that we nail this one, and then we can just, you know. Listen, if we win on Thursday, you can just sit back and just say, well, what will be, because we've kept side of the bargain, and we've kept our house in order by winning, and that's all we've got to do.
Let's have a look at the table at the moment, right? In 8th place, Tottenham on 39 points. They played 23 games. Wolves are in 7th place, played 24 on 40 points. Arsenal in 6th place currently, played 23 games, 42 points. West Ham also on 42 points, but they've played 3 games more, 26 game. And Man United actually occupy that 4th place currently. They have got 46 points, but they've played 26 games. Again, 3 more games than Arsenal.
Yeah,
so Arsenal have got 3 games in hand, but games in hand only mean anything if you win them.
That's it. So we need to, look, Manchester United at this moment in time have opened up a little bit of a gap. So,
6 points.
So we can, if we win that, we go, is it 3 points?
4 points. 4
right,
points.
so
gap.
we go 1 point behind them if we win on Thursday. With 2 games in hand, looks a little bit better, doesn't it? So, getting them a little bit closer. And, and I still think, I know that people might laugh at this. We've got to be looking at Chelsea as well. Like that's trying to aim to get there. I'm not saying that we're going to, but try and aim to get there.
I still think there's only one position in it.
Yeah, I do as well. But why there's still, they could have dropped 2 points on Saturday, but because they've got players in all areas, that's why. But ultimately, look, we play Thursday. Try and get another 3 points closer to them. And see where it takes us.
Let's have a look at who's got what at the weekend.
Right.
Obviously, we're not going to be playing at the weekend, but Leeds versus Tottenham.
2 gun-ho Leeds, aren't they?
They are. I think they're made for Tottenham, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tottenham, they'll just be quite defensive,
sitting there and hit them on
just look at catch them on the break. And you saw Man United do that. Man United done it. Will.
Man, to be honest, listen, Leeds done well to get back into that game, and then they were still going gun-ho.
They've only got one way of playing, a bit like what Man City did. They went gun-ho, and they're a much better team to try and get that third goal, and they lost to Tottenham. I mean, that was that sort of result for Tottenham is going to lift them, innit?
Game changer. I said that at the time. It was a game changer for them because realistically, another defeat and they would have been not out of it, but
they'd have been looking out of it.
We'd have been 6 points in front of them. And then they've got to go to Burnley, knowing they couldn't slip up. All of a sudden the confidence is high. I honestly thought Burnley would have been it's a tougher game for them because I know it sounds silly, but they're sitting and they've got Tottenham find it hard to break. The way Man City set up suits Tottenham. It's when they have to break teams down, they find it a little bit tougher. But they get the job done there because of that result against City. Yeah. I think the confidence will be up.
Yeah. Manchester United have got Watford at home. Can't see nothing apart from.
It'd be difficult. I bet it ain't easy.
Watford, to be fair,
they find it hard.
They played very well the other day in who's it they beat again? But they Villa. They played well against Villa. Villa attacked them. Watford kind of
week, didn't we?
Yeah, Watford kind of sat back a bit, and on the counter attack, they should have won by more. But remember Watford were the team that sort of cost Ollie his job, weren't they?
That's right. Of course they did. Yeah, but I'm different.
A different game there. You can't see United dropping points in that game. So that's 2 of them. Wolves have got West Ham away, so one's going to drop points, isn't it?
Is that at West Ham?
At West Ham. But West Ham ain't been playing well, have they?
I don't know what's the matter with West Ham at the moment. Like, you keep giving away silly goals.
Yeah, West Ham have been a bit, so you don't even know how that's going to go. The rivals. Listen, West Ham and West Brom and Wolves, 1 and 2 are going to drop points. You can't see points being dropped by Man United or Tottenham. Yeah. You expect them both to win. So this game against Wolves is massive. But we've beaten them once before.
We're at home as well, you know what I mean?
And we're at home.
Listen, I actually did think that we'd beat them up there, and I think that we'd do it again this time, but it'd be very, very difficult. Listen,
and Wolves are going to play. They're a bit of a strange anomaly when it comes to a team because they're going to play in a similar fashion to what they did when we played them at their place. I was watching their game at the weekend against Leicester. They're very conservative. They don't
very cautious.
They don't really come forward. They wait for you. They wait for mistakes, and then on the counter attack, they're quick. You know what I mean? Podence, Neto if he comes back in. You know what I mean? They got quick players. They transition it quick. Get up to Jimenez. They're dangerous.
Yeah, they are. But and if
they're not going to come and attack.
No, they're not. But if you give them a goal like Tottenham did, then you're going to find it even tougher. And
you're in
because
problems.
they defended really, really well against Spurs, and so Arsenal will find it very, very difficult at 0-0, let alone 1-0, and as Tottenham found out. So it's important that we don't make silly mistakes like they did. Make sure we defend properly. I think that stability-wise, defensively, we're good, and then we can build from there. I think Arsenal are a little bit calculated like that as well. They build it from the back, going forward, making sure they're not going to give away nothing. I think the first 20 minutes of this game is vital. I think that if we can get ourselves in front after 20 odd minutes, a bit like we did against West Ham when we come out against them, get the goal, and then pick them off.
Be a low-scoring game, I reckon.
Yeah,
we've been good at home.
Been very good at home this year.
We've only lost at home to City and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So we've got a good record at home, and as I said, I think played them really similar to how we played them when we went to their place, which we kind of took the game to them, and we were the better team. I thought we deserved to win that game on that day, even with 10 men. Who starts now, right? You saw Smith Rowe on Saturday, absolutely brilliant performance, great goal. This kid seems to score every time he puts an Arsenal shirt on. But Martinelli would have served his one-match ban, which of course he picked up against Wolves. Does he come back in and Smith Rowe drops to the bench? Do you put Smith Rowe in the number 9 position and drop Lacazette? Do you drop Lacazette and bring in Martinelli? Or do you leave Lacazette in? Should Pepe start, who looked lively when he came on? Looked very good when he come on. Does he deserve a start? Over to you, manager judges.
This is a very, very, very difficult one, this, because if you look at it, Granit Xhaka's been suspended 3 times, come straight back in. I will be very, very disappointed if Martinelli's not starting on Thursday. But I've got.
So who do you drop?
I don't know. So let me finish. But I think I'm going to be disappointed come Thursday.
You drop Martinelli?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know what he'd do. If it was me, I'd play Martinelli. I'd leave out Lacazette. But Lacazette, I don't think will be left out by the manager. Certainly going to, Smith Rowe done really, really well. So it's a difficult one. I'm not the manager, am I?
The way you talk all the time, you normally want to be the manager.
Well, I'm going to say it now, as a tough a call it is for me, I'm leaving Lacazette out. That's a tough call because I've got to get Martinelli in that team somewhere along the line.
No, I wouldn't leave out Lacazette, to be honest. They've got a good...
So who are you leaving out then? Manager Lyle. There was a manager called Lyle. Do you remember him? John Lyle.
John Lyle, West Ham manager, yeah. Oh man, jeez, nice problem to have.
Yeah, it's a problem to have, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? You have to get another pole up. I think you've got more poles in a tent.
More poles and string fillers.
It's unreal, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't.
Don't say you wouldn't know either. Don't say you wouldn't know.
Polling.
Oh man. Do you know what? I'm gonna play Lacazette because I feel that.
Are you going to leave out?
What it is, right?
Are you going to drop?
They've got a good defence with Connor Cody and Kilman and I just think Lacazette, that ability to hold the ball up, bring other players in. It's going to be a tight game. That's required in that game.
Yeah, okay.
It's not the sort of team. They sit quite deep, don't they? They're not the sort of team you're going to be running in behind. They play a really high line. They're you know what I mean? So Lacazette, I think, is needed in this game. I would leave out Martinelli. I can't leave out Smith Rowe after how he played.
Well, and
he scored his goal. Now, hear me out on it.
It's controversial.
Right, hear me out. If you've got Martinelli on the bench, you've got 2 options in him if things ain't working out. If Lacazette's not working out, you can bring him on as a centre forward.
Yeah.
If Smith Rowe's not working out, you can bring him out. You can bring him on the left-hand side. He's going to be fresh. He's going to be fired up. And then on the right-hand side, you can bring on Pepe. So to me, I would. You can't leave out Smith Rowe right now.
It was
the guy's on
interesting,
fire. So yeah,
it was interesting though that he took him off with 20 minutes to go. So was he not quite
resting him up? Yeah, well, they're still nursing him back a bit.
Still nursing him back. So I think that it'll be very, very harsh on Martinelli, but
it's harsh on him.
I think he's been our best player in the last few weeks. I really do. I think he's been
Smith Rowe is our top goal scorer.
Yeah, that's the trouble,
right?
isn't it?
And you're playing against a team that's very tough to score goals against. So to me, your top goal scorer needs to be on that pitch for the majority of the game, right? And that's why, for me, I think I'd start him. But I've got the options now to bring a Martinelli on later on in the game. It can be running at players. It can be.
You could look at it like that Martinelli starts to tire out that defence and then Smith Rowe comes in when it's tiring, like, you know. There's that option. You know, you've got like Smith Rowe and Pepe coming on with all the tricks and things like that. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the starting 11 was quite, I think, boring on Saturday because it was this one, when that team sheet comes out at quarter to 7, I'm going to be excited.
And we'll be all over it here on the watch along, and I'm definitely going to make sure I'm in that starting 11 show. But Tomiyasu, does he come back in?
Do you know what? That's a great question.
Cedric, he ain't done bad, has he?
No, I'm going to say this now. This is I said actually on the starting 11 before. I said that as soon as he's fit, Tomiyasu should come in and play. I'm changed my mind now because Cedric has played really, really well in the last 2 games. So I don't think there's any need to rush back Tomiyasu whatsoever.
But if he's fit, as well as Cedric's played,
well, it's a difficult one. But you know, for me, I like the fact that if you got the shirt, you know, you keep it, you know. And
I just like Tomiyasu's physicality as well. I love his physicality, man. You know what I mean? You know, when he's in the team and he's on song. It's very difficult to get past him. I want to see him getting back into the team. Even as well as Cedric has done, I want to see Tomiyasu back in the fold. So Tomiyasu for me.
Being a bit ruthless, isn't you, today?
Where you going?
I'm sticking with Cedric for this game. I think Cedric deserves it.
Another poll.
Another poll. More polls and string fillers.
But it's another interesting
what's that one with
debate.
The rhino? What's it called? Spearmint Rhino. I've got more polls than them two now, like, you know.
Never heard of it.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know a lot, innit?
I just heard a rumour that was all, like, you know. Brennan told me about it the other week.
He's got membership. He's got membership at Spearmint Rhino.
VIP, apparently.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Where you going then? Give us your prediction.
I think it's going to be a real tight game. But I think that 2-0 to the Arsenal. I think it's going to be like 1-0 and then like, a little bit like Saturday, get one and then one a bit later on, like, you know. I think that if we get the goal against them, I think that's key.
I can see a 1-0 again.
1-0, I can see a
1-0. They're not easy to score against, but they do, you know, as I said, I watched that game against Leicester at the weekend. I thought Leicester, if they'd have been a bit more ruthless, could have had a couple of goals in it. They scored one, but I think they should have had more. They were the better team, but Wolves are very well drilled. They sit in and they wait to catch you. We're going to have to defend well. We're going to have to be, the midfield's going to have to be strong. I think Moutinho will probably come back in. He didn't play in that last game, even though he came off early in that game, but he can be a guy that pulls strings.
Yeah.
But the midfield's going to be vital. They've got a good midfield, they have. And Thomas Partey and Jack are going to have to be on it. But I think we've got a strong midfield with them two in there. And yeah, I'm going 1-0 to Arsenal. I think we're going to be fired up as well.
I will say this. Arsenal have got no injury problems at the minute. It's their strongest team. If we can't beat and break down Wolves, it doesn't bode well for the future. This is the best team that we've, you know, it's not like we've got injuries. We've got no excuses at the moment. So the way we've done it against Brentford, we've got to do it again and a little bit more quicker, a little bit. I thought we stepped up the tempo a little bit more in the second half. We've got to do that in the first half. We've got to beat these. It's as simple as that. Like,
Must win game. Must win. And guys, don't forget, Who Knows Wins. The link is in the description. 2 to play this week. A Wolves special right? So we've got a Wolves special going on. When I say Wolves special, Arsenal.
Come and try and beat the
special.
judge. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Robbie.
Right.
You beat him. Just come and try and beat the judge.
Right, with an additional pot of £500 and a chance to win £7,500. All you got to do is enter. It's £5 to enter. The link is, as I said, in the description. And you can see how you get on in there. And we're doing another poll. Who's going to win? Me or him? Next week.
Do you know what?
Another poll.
£7,500. If you can get that just by playing that game. £7,500. You know
I'll be here next week.
Well, no. We've got international breaks coming up as well, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Got a nice little holiday.
Ooh, off to Dubai, you say?
Well, could £7,500. If we go through, I think I could.
He's spending it already before he's even made it.
I've spent it already, but would you? There's another poll. What would you want to do with £7,500? Like,
Too many polls now, right? So we're leaving. Right, we're all polled out. Thanks for watching the show. Listen, don't forget you can download this podcast as well. All the usual formats. Who knows wins? The link's in the description if you want to get involved in the game. Thank you very much, Lee. And looking forward to the game on Thursday. Don't forget we'll be all over it here on AFTV. We've got our watch along in the studio starting 11. We'll also be at the game interviewing fans as we always do. And let's hope that we get a big win. With no games this weekend, like Lee said, this is critical that we win this game. Got to keep that winning going. It's in our hands, Lee. We keep winning.
That's it. That's
Top
all
four is there for the taking.